Freaking Donald Trump. This is Quentin Figueroa from Slayermint.com, and let's talk about the Donald. So, Donald Trump is often accused of talking like a fourth grader and appealing to emotion and just being pretty general and simplistic overall, which is kind of funny considering that is what most liberals do, and that's how most liberals communicate. Because after all, if liberals were actually rational, they wouldn't support many of the ideas they support, like equality, big government, control over markets, and all of these types of things. So Donald Trump is simply doing what they do because he knows it works, because he's not an idiot. Most people are not very rational, so if you were to come at them with a rational argument, it's not going to work well. That's what Ron Paul and Peter Schiff have tried doing when they ran for office in politics. It just, people don't want to hear facts or rational statements. They want to hear about free goodies and what's in it for them, and people are selfish. They only care about themselves. They don't care about the country. They care about what they can get out of it. So that's why people like Donald Trump are doing so well, because they're doing what liberals and Democrats have been doing for a long time, and they're appealing to emotions. And it's not that Trump's an idiot, it's just that he knows how to speak the language of the people. Trump actually appeals to very smart people and very stupid people. He appeals to the smart people because he actually talks about things that smart people care about, like immigration and trade between countries, and he even talks about stuff like the Federal Reserve, which nobody talks about. And smart people care about stuff like this. But he also is appealing to stupid people because he talks in a way and in a language that's appealing to them. Like, he'll just make it really simple, and he talks like a fourth grader. He'll say stuff like, I'm gonna bring jobs back, I'm gonna make America great. Things like this. These guys are bad. These guys are good. He just breaks it down really simple, because unfortunately that is the language most people in America speak, because most people in America are not too bright. So, if people actually used reason, we wouldn't have a government, because having a government is something that people do who are not rational. If you need to have other people make decisions for you, and you're not able to take care of yourself, then you're not using reason, you're not being rational, you're not being self-responsible. You're being led by somebody else, just like a kid needs a parent to make decisions for them. So if you need a government, which is pretty much everybody, then you're already not being rational. So Trump knows all this, and he's basically appealing to what people want. So liberals, they obviously don't argue based on reason, because the whole liberal mentality isn't built on reason. It can't be. Liberals are big into doing personal attacks, and so is Donald Trump. He'll attack people, he'll name call them, he'll do all the stuff that liberals love doing. They call Trump a racist, well, he'll call people crooked, he'll call them liars, he'll do the same type of crap, because that's what people are into, that's what people respond to. They respond much more to emotion than they do rational arguments and reason. So yeah, that's what liberals are into, and Trump knows that, and that's why he sounds like one, and that's why he talks in a very simple, emotional way. He's obviously not an idiot, because his IQ is around 150, and that puts him in the 99.95 percentile of people. So he's basically 1 out of 2,300 people has an IQ that high. So he's very, very smart. He's obviously smart. He's worth billions of dollars. Just listening to the way he talks, he sounds smart. The things he talks about are smart. And the way that he runs his campaign is efficient. He spends more than any other politician in his campaign, and he gets better results than any other politician. So the guy's obviously not an idiot. He's just running things smart, and he's speaking the language that people listen to. He's a salesman. Anybody who's good at business knows sales. They know how to speak to people and they know how to sell them. And in order to speak to people, you need to talk their language. If he were to come out and be like, oh, well, we can't have government, or we can't have the Federal Reserve, and this is what's happening, and this is how inflation really works. Inflation is actually just the money supply, and the Federal Reserve has fractional reserve banking, which actually makes you poor and extracts wealth from future generations. And if he were to start talking like that, people would be like, oh, that doesn't have anything to do with American Idol, I'm confused. So he talks to them about stuff that they're not confused about. He makes it simple, and he entertains people. That's all people want anyway. I mean, people don't care who's president. People want something entertaining. They want something appealing to them. People don't want a Ron Paul in the White House. They want somebody entertaining. It's like the movie Idiocracy. They want some type of, they want a cool guy, a wrestler. You know, they just want to be entertained. That's all they want. And Trump's giving it to him, and he's doing a good job. And I actually like Trump a lot, and I think he's great, and I like the way he's able to play both sides. I like how he can be entertaining, and he can also be very smart and talk about smart things. It's funny because people will say stuff like Trump is he's so shallow. He doesn't talk about what he wants to do. Yet the things he's talked about, he did a foreign policy speech like a week ago that just crushed it, and the level of depth and understanding that came from that speech, and if you were to actually compare it to, well, first of all, these other people aren't even doing speeches like that. So he's actually telling you what he wants to do. He's giving great speeches, and he's making lots of sense, which nobody's doing. Yet he is accused of not providing substance. He provides more substance than any other person running for office, and the substance that he provides actually makes sense. So it's weird how people attack him, but I mean, I get it. People attack. That's what they do. Liberals are big in that, and Trump does the same thing to them. So it's pretty funny. But it's funny when you attack Trump because of the way he talks. So if you're like, Trump's a fourth grader because he talks really simple, short sentences. He uses little kid words. So if you're attacking the way he talks, you're acting like a fourth grader, because fourth graders don't actually attack arguments. They attack the person. It's an ad hominem attack. It's something that people do who don't have valid arguments. So by attacking how Trump speaks and attacking his hair, attacking his appearance, attacking all these surface level things is a testament to you acting like a fourth grader. That's what little kids do. If you want to actually attack him, you should attack his positions or his arguments, and you should attack them with arguments that are more rational or more sound in reason than his. And people don't do that because they can't do it. When they do attack him, it's the same old thing. I mean, you could go up to somebody, and if you find somebody who doesn't like Trump, you just ask him, do you like Trump? Oh no, I don't like Trump. Let me guess, because he's racist. Oh yeah. What's Trump racist about? Oh, everything. Have you heard him? Okay, and he's sexist, right? Oh yeah, he's sexist. He's sexist about everything. Have you heard this guy? He's so sexist. He's a misogynist. He's racist. He's borderline Nazi. I mean, these are not arguments. You're calling somebody a name, but you're not providing any argument or proof as to why that's what they are. So it's weird how people latch on to such surface level, shallow things, and they attack people on that. And by doing that, they're doing what they're attacking the person of being. It's like ridiculous. By calling him a fourth grader, by making fun of how he talks, you're being the fourth grader. And he's actually making valid arguments. You just don't want to attack his arguments. You want to attack the way he presents them, or something that has nothing to do with the argument. It's very shallow and very telling. And that's what liberals do. That's what people who are less rational are going to do. They're not going to have an actual factual debate. They're going to throw as many red herrings and as many personal attacks as possible. And it's really interesting to watch, and it's interesting to watch Trump. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. So vote for Trump. Vote for Trump. And no, in all seriousness, I I don't support. I would prefer to not have a government and to not have a president. But since we're a far way away from that, and people really like having governments, and based off the choices and people we have, Trump makes by far the most sense to me. Just the fact that people hate him, that the people that hate him are the people that have been screwing America over. Look, nobody really knows what to expect with Trump. All they know is that they know what to expect with these other candidates. At least with Trump, he appears honest. He's probably pretty honest, and he's coming in there with really good business experience, and he doesn't care who he offends or what he says. He's not going to play into this politically correct dogma that everybody's been following. He's his own person, and he doesn't need to fit in or follow what everybody thinks. He's very he's a freaking entrepreneur. He just does what he needs to do and he moves on. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. And yeah, I'd rather not have a president. I'd rather have privatization of everything. But we're not there yet, so I think Trump is a reasonable thing to try. And he's a whole lot of fun to watch, and it's interesting to see people attack him and not his arguments or positions, and it's quite telling. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that.